Awesome. Thank you so much, Pam, for agreeing to this. So the first question we want to know is, can you tell us a bit about your undergraduate experience? So what was that like for you?
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's so long ago.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, I guess my undergrad, I have a science degree with a specialization in pharmacology. So, yeah, that was a very different situation as now because I'm from Edmonton. So I did my undergrad at the U of A. I lived with my parents and I worked part-time, but didn't necessarily have a whole lot of responsibilities that I have now. Even doing my master's degree, which I did at a different university, it was similar. I really focused on going to school, and yeah. And it was good. I did some extracurricular activities and worked part-time, and yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you even went above and beyond what I wanted. That was great. So giving us kind of the backstory and your academic kind of history. And now the next question I would like to ask is, where is it? There we go. So now the next question I'd like to ask is, so then why did you decide to pursue your PhD? So why did you decide to pursue your PhD, and why did you,
Okay, so yeah, after working as an occupational therapist for about, almost 15 years, I guess, I was really interested in research and some of my previous experiences with teaching OT students. I've always just really thought I might go into research or do a PhD one day. So kind of that combination of being interested in research in order to kind of help move clinical practice forward, hopefully, in areas where there's not a lot of research, but also have opportunities to teach students as well. And I love learning.
Great.
That sounds probably really cliche, but
it's a must. It's needed.
Yeah.
To be in research, you kind of do. Okay, awesome. Thank you. And just to clarify, so you said you completed your master's at a different university. What master's was that, and what kind of motivated you to choose that? So what was the jump between your undergrad and your master's? How did you make that decision?
Yeah, so I did a Master of Science in Occupational Therapy. So I was always really interested in working in healthcare. So that was one area that I thought was really interesting. It's just that really looking at that really functional aspect of daily life for people and helping them to do activities that they enjoy were some things that really interested me about occupational therapy. So since then I've worked in a few different areas. I've worked in the hospital, I've worked in primary care and chronic disease management as well.
Okay. I have a range of experiences. Management. Nice. Now, next question is, so how would you describe your graduate experience so far?
So I started my PhD in September 2020, so right in the midst of COVID. Now I have 3 kids and a partner, and so that going back to school experience has been very different, having to juggle all of these different roles, including working a little bit part-time as well clinically. So I have to admit that doing all my coursework online was in some ways convenient because I didn't have to commute to campus, so that saved time. But I think getting into the mindset of being a student and how it can be at times, sometimes all-consuming, but also needing to balance sort of the needs of my family and even myself, in terms of, trying to keep up with exercise and getting enough sleep and all that sort of stuff and still complete all my assignments. So
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a shift, but in other ways though, like the flexibility actually of not having really set work hours has been really helpful, particularly if, schools were closed for a week, or if one of my kids was sick, or something like that. That flexibility has been really nice. I've been able to volunteer at my kids' school much easier without taking a vacation day. So those are some really kind of good things. One other thing that I thought was really good and didn't really realize was that with either working or doing school from home, I started walking with my kids to and from school every day. And that was sort of just a really nice part of the day. Sometimes we rode our bikes too. And that was just, something, a totally unintended consequence.
Yeah. And that's awesome. Yeah. And it's so funny because you kind of answered the next question, which is going to be tell us a bit about your home life, but you pretty much touched on that already.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if there's anything else you kind of want to add. So far we've spoken about your graduate experience and how trying to balance juggling your different roles as a partner, as a mother, working part-time clinically, and how working on doing your studies online. And I guess you work remotely as well, or do you have to go?
No, that one's in person.
Oh, it's in person. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's a flexibility with that role that helps you to manage
flexibility with being a student. Yeah.
Being a student. Thank you for that clarification.
No, it's all good.
Okay. And is there any other information you want to give us about your home life and kind of from your experience being as you said, having these different roles, what has been maybe the most challenging aspect of
I think just kind of navigating everything that kind of goes on or what's needed for my family, but then also balancing out sort of my expectations of how I'm doing my schoolwork, and also making sure that there's enough time for everything. And sometimes that time looks different at different times.
Yeah.
Allocating that time looks different.
Yeah. Okay. And then what are some of the tips? What are some tips that you'd like to, some tips that you wish you knew before you started graduate school? So taking in consideration, the fact that you have all these different roles and different people that kind of have expectations of you. What's one tip that you wish you knew before you started? And maybe because also you started during COVID, things were online. If you didn't have that aspect, so people that maybe might be starting now don't have that, might not have that kind of caveat. What's one tip you would share? Sorry, it's a hard one.
No, it is a hard one. I can think of lots of things.
Okay, I'll give you 3 then.
3. Okay, I could do 3. There's one thing I could actually add to my family life situation too, is that my partner is very supportive, and we've had to negotiate our roles for sure. But that is very helpful to have a good support system, whether that's family or friends or whatever. And I guess that kind of links into the next question. Do you want me to answer the next question? Are you done typing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't want to keep talking.
No, it's okay.
I know we're recording, but I guess one thing is to, if you can even find even a couple of people within your program that you can kind of connect with. That's really helpful, even if you do a co-working session at a coffee shop or something like that. Just helps to kind of change the pace and change the scenery. And also being able to bounce ideas off of someone that way. So that sort of support system, asking for help. when you need it, even if you don't think you need it, because usually you do. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know. A lot of people tell me to be kind to myself, so that's probably a good.
I like that one.
Yeah,
Be kind to
especially when you're trying to do a lot.
Yeah.
It's okay to say no, and it's okay to do something that you want to do. That was probably like 6.
And you know what, you have the opportunity. So what we're going to do is so you've given 3 tips. So the first tip you said was having a good system and connecting with people in your program, kind of building a cohort support system. Second, ask for help when you need it, even if you're not too sure. Don't wait till last minute. And then be kind to yourself. So the last question, we can kind of put the other things you mentioned,
Sure.
which is lastly, what any words of encouragement that you have specifically for female graduate students. And I feel like that last sentence just kind of like encapsulate it, where you just feel like, oh, you have to do all these things and be all these things to all these people, but really, if you don't feed yourself first, if you're not making sure that you're okay, you can't fulfill all these different roles. So I won't put my words in there, but
no, that's okay. And even just like another way of saying that even might just be like, make sure you're I don't know. Now I like lost it. I mean, making sure that you're doing things that make you feel good too. Something like something along those lines.
I have to, because you said something really good. But I was trying to finish the.
You have the recording.
But I'll go back in the recording and I'll share with you the write up as well before I send it to the editor. But so that's pretty much it. And the last thing I just want to say is, if you have any pictures you're willing to share with me, it's gonna go. So it's the U Alberta publication. I don't know if you see it. It goes to all students. So it's not just graduate students, it's for undergrad and grads as well. But I typically like to write from the perspective of graduate students, especially within rehabilitation science, because I find that a lot of people don't really know about it. Even when I speak to my friends, they're like, what is rehab science? And they're like, what is this kind of weird program that we've never heard about? So I really try and advocate for rehab science and write a lot of articles to highlight some of the work that we're doing. So if you have any pictures, either of yourself, of your family, or like of you at work, or with your cohort, your support system, fellow graduate students, anything to kind of buttress the article. I once I send you the write-up and the things, you can send that over to me as you feel comfortable.
That sounds great. That's awesome.
Thank you so much, Pam. I appreciate it.
No problem. How are things going with you? Like, how are things going with your project?
It's good. I'm gonna stop recording now.
Yes.